Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. Welcome to, I don't think the camera shows the haze. A buddy of mine has been, what's the step above pestering? Haranguing, has been after me to laser some stuff for him. So the laser has been running all morning. Oh, by the way, welcome to we're doing this is a bonanza of From the Comments. And in preparation for that, I've been out here, it has to be close to an hour and a half. It has been a beadlock, tire swap, stuff prep, bonanza / fiasco, a finanza, a bazasco. It's been all of it. And the only reason we're in here right now, and this didn't start... There are two reasons that we're in here right now, and this didn't start outside. Number one is, it's not an episode without Susan in it. Am I right? Except Wheelin' Wednesday. That's okay. The other one is, part of the From the Comments involves the deep woods. And the only set of deep woods I had out in the open were mounted on deeps. And deeps don't fit on baseline. So I had to mount them on some conventional wheels. And as I was mounting them, I came to a stark realization, which is I've been mounting beadlocks wrong the entire time. So help me to whoever's in charge of the celestial prophecies. I mean, if those aren't beadlock fingers, I don't know what are. To anyone who dares mention in the comments, oh, that's how I've always done it. A pox on thee, sir. So here they are. I've been doing these all out. That's a great thing about the old Duratracks. You just put the names in or the names out, and then you have a full set. So here is what I thought were Injoras, but they're DKKYs. I really like these because they don't use a skinny ring. There's more of an even split to them, and they have a nice squared shoulder. Anyway, conventionally what I would do is I would drop the front in, and I would line the back up, and I would put the thing together. As I found out not that long ago, I'm talking about TIL, within the last 90 minutes, no. You go to this side, you start to put the back in, but before you put the back in, you flip it around, and then you can look around and see if you're getting bead engagement all the way around. So that just drops in, and now it's all super loose. And then it's super easy because you get this guy just started, and you'll feel it start to go. There it is. Then we flip it over, we line them up, and apparently, in theory, no more popping beads, because you can watch the bead go on all the way. I have unmounted and remounted 5 sets of beadlocks this morning, including those on Jolly Green. So 5.5 sets of beadlocks. I had to change some foams. I had to move some tires around. So here we are. And midway through, I was trying to get a wheel seated on one of the deep steelies. And with the deep steely, there's a huge difference. Like the back is just a little flat pancake, and the front is this big deep thing. And I couldn't get it together. So, for no apparent reason, I just thought, well, let's put the back in first, because then I can just hold the wheel and the back together. And then the front just went shink, and the metal like touched each other. So, this just brings forth horrible thoughts. All those times that I've had problems with beads holding, beads popping, beads slipping. How many of those opportunities could have been avoided by putting the back ring in first and then the front ring in last? Because it worked on every set that I had to mount. And I've also, you know what? It's inexpensive. I've kind of just gone to bubble juice and everything, because I don't know if you saw how easily that went together. But it takes back in first, front in last, juice it, squeeze it, I think every wheel is going to go on in about a minute now, unless, they really fight you. And that's an open cell. Usually open cell will fight you a little bit. This is just a stock Durtrex foam. That leads into from the comments. It'll be up over the thing when we get outside. I have behind me a mini fleet who are participating in today's shenanigans. So I'm going to load them up. I'm going to wash my hands. Then we're going to head outside and we're going to do some stuff. You all leave comments. I do stuff. We have a great time. Who doesn't have a great time? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then I'll see you in a minute, which for you will be like a second. We arrive in the out of doors and everyone is unloaded, and you're going to have to pardon me as I will have to both paraphrase, and in many cases I'm not sure who left the comments, because up until about a week ago I thought I was developing a pretty solid memory function for who many of you are. Then YouTube went to the at tag. So my Crawler Canyon is just at Crawler Canyon. Many people, their at name and their channel name or their ID are not the same. So my short-term memory is bad. Song lyrics from 1989, baby, I got them. What a channel ID corresponds to an at from a week ago, I have no idea. So I do apologize. The first one is pretty easy. At Faith Sarah G. Miata Commuter, long-time channel supporter, channel member. Put the pivots directly up against the deep woods on baseline, as they believe that the pivot has more straightforward drive. Well, let's just see about that. So the pivots are fitted, they just got stolen directly off of Wiley. They go straight on the baseline. And as Slickrock is a test of tire, yeah, that's pretty strong. That is pretty strong. Well, all those tires, and I have mentioned this before, all those tires that Duratrax makes that are available only in Class 1, like the Pivot, the Ascend. My brain wants to say there's another one, but again, short-term memory. Well, just give us a Class 2 version, guys. Come on. Well, the Fossil. And then what about the ones that only exist in Class 2 and they don't make a Class 1 version of? There's no Class 1 Deep Woods, right? No. Is there a Class 1 Showdown? I don't think. Yeah, they make distinct Class 1 and Class 2 tires. Spread the love, man. Let us have them in both sizes. So yeah, the pivot does have a ton of drive, and aside from those Class 1 problems, those being that they're small and I have to relearn lines to take them in a Class 1 approach. Not the tire. That's another one. Yeah. Wait. Does the approach come in Class 1? I don't know. I know it comes in Class 2. So I just want to. I'm babbling, and at the same time I'm building a mental picture here, because we're about to swivel this guy around and do a little mini dugga, and then we'll have some deep woods on here. These are, of course, the pivots on the included foam. They are stock on the Hot Storm wheels. And you saw the deep woods just a moment ago being mounted to those DKKYs. So on stock foams, those are the included Durtrex foams that came with them. Now let's see. Let us see. And we resume. Deep woods up on there. It does surprise me. That element body might be one of the best crawler bodies ever, right? It's not overdone in any way. It's kind of nondescript, but it'll clear. Like, I've put KLR M's on there and we got barely any lug noise out of it. You can tuck a Class 1 under there and it looks pretty good. You put a Class 2 under there, it looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good. When this one finally wears out, and I figure it will be the body that wears out, I'm going to have to, I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Possible caveat in this situation. These are not new deepwoods. They've got not quite, but just close to the perfect amount of feather on the front of the lug. To me, it feels like there's just the tiniest bit more. Now, those pivots, well, let's see. Okay, I got the pivot in a walk across over like this. Ooh, am I changing my mind? No, I don't know. I think, fresh out of the package, yeah, I would say the pivot has probably got it. Like that lug size and shape, because it does have, it's got a pretty small lug. But that's a good size. Like that lug feels grabby, right? And excellent side lug. I love this tire. This is really going up onto my favorites list of Class 1 tires, even up against the likes of Class 1 Tusks, Class 1 Landmines, etc. I really like those pivots. But if we discount the Canyon Trail, the Deepwoods is up there in my top 3 because it is so versatile and inexpensive. Still get a little hang, even with the Class 2, got a little hang there. Yeah, I gotta say that this is another one of those instances where we didn't keep it pure because I don't have brand new Deepwoods. So what this says to me is, okay, the differential. If we were trying to measure a differential, the differential in grip is, what was that? Is below nominal. Like it is minimal. There's the slight and maybe perhaps potentially it could just be because I have an overwhelming familiarity with Deepwoods. Aside from Canyon Trails, and I would put Deepwoods up there in the most amount of cumulative wheel time, up there with Tusks, because I've run so many sets of them, right? So the pivot to me is is new. Not a little new, it is new. So someone had mentioned this in the comments previously about how there's a different tone in my voice when driving a Canyon Trail. And it's because I know what that tire is going to do. That tire is an old pair of shoes now. So yeah, there is certainly, there's a comfort to it. And these Deepwoods on the stock foams, just so good. I do also, I have a little bit of a hard time fully embracing Class 1. I am a Class 2 guy, and I feel like I've made strides because not too long ago at all, I was an all portals guy. So this is progress for me. And you know what's great? I almost used shoehorn this I'm going to shoehorn this in. No, this dovetails because it dovetails intentional. This dovetails into the next comment where someone asked, or someone mentioned, yes. With our good friend, the FMS Atlas. FMS mostly known for their 24th scale, I would say. This being their first 10th scale offering. It is size deceptive. And as it was a participant in the tire go-round that just occurred, someone said, can you put it up against something like baseline so I can get an idea of how big it actually is? And yeah, it's not huge, right? Like lengthwise, it's about the same length as baseline, but look at the wheelbase. Like he is long, and he sacrificed his foams mere moments ago as part of the tire move around, because if you witnessed yesterday's installment of this gentleman, yeah, those foams, no, not at 7.5 pounds. So we changed the foams out to the Canyon Standard, the double bun, and I wanted to see if it's too much. It's not too much. It's got a little, okay, well, it is Slickrock, so I'm not attempting a pun here. It is acting a little slicky, but these are freshly mounted. One of the last sets that I mounted. Belly hang there. There we go. Oh yeah, that's just nice. Yeah, you go, boy. It's still, from when the work was done and when the filming was completed and I went through editing and all of it, I am still genuinely surprised at how transformed this thing could be by genuinely not doing much more to it than I do to any other rig to get it from RTR configuration or kit configuration to where we like things to be for canyon use. It descends well, it climbs well, it does not have the best turning radius that you've ever seen. It torque twists like a monster, but it is a trail truck that happens to crawl rock far better than I had any thought that it would. And that long wheelbase can genuinely do work. Let's do the shuttle. Cross, pull back. I see that slick, there it is. It's like I see that slick rock. I'm just trying to pull over it. The thing is, okay, we've got those drive shafts that keep falling apart, and we've got a turning radius that is not correctable. Other than that, the axles seem okay. They are robust enough. They go together well enough. They don't have particularly weird bearings in them, which is nice. So no complaints. In partnership with this guy, because he gave his foams up. Well, he didn't. Okay, he discarded his foams in favor of just straight. Those are just normal double buns. I want to say those are the double buns that got pulled out of Toothless when Toothless got his just full single buns. So he had those really soft, which was still weird to me. Saying really soft in relation to an RC four-wheel drive foam is something that is still basically foreign to me. I don't understand it. So I had 4 soft single stage foams, which I had mentioned are really only suitable for a vehicle up to X number of pounds and pretty low at that. But we have somebody that breaks those rules. He's very noisy. And he has 4 wheels, very close together, that you have to use the softest springs, the softest foams, the softest everything, because he's spreading the PSI, right? How much weight he's putting down on each contact patch is so low. Yeah, I don't know how it showed, but there was some real, when the middle axle breached right here, look at that tire. So this is untested. This is a thought experiment here. I was like, well, let's try something really soft and Jolly Green. Yeah, I'm having to use a little more mustard. Let's see how he does on the down here. Oh, he is planted like a tree. I am not mad about it. Also, he factors into this on more than one aspect, because he surrendered his deep woods. Because I looked up at the tire rack, and there were 2 deep woods on there, and he was running 6. That's 2 full sets of deep woods. So I was like, it seems a shame, because I also had 8. I had 10 Canyon Trails up on the on the tire rack. So putting 6 Canyon Trails on him still left a full set of Canyon Trails, but freed up 2 sets of Deep Woods. And you saw how well the Deep Woods did on baseline. So we're gonna move stuff around. You know, there are still guys that we have not determined what the final tire is. The Fossil Set 2 is currently still homeless. That's what I like to see. I forget that when you first mount a tire, there is a little bit of time where stuff's got to shake and shimmy and get into place properly. And I think that's what it took here. And then because he's a monster, he responds to big throttle. Maybe better than anyone else because he can use it. And just slithers like a snake. Can still get it stuck. I mean, it's not made of magic. It just has a lot of wheels. Oh man, here we go. Are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready, but I hope you're ready. Someone in the comments and do forgive me for not being able to put the ats and the screen names together. They said to me a terrible thing, which at the same time gives me the giggles and tickles me to no end. I'm paraphrasing again. Take what you consider to be the best tires and put them on the worst rig, and take what you consider to be the worst tires and put them on the best rig. And the beauty of that is that it's 8 bolts, because we have both of those things. We have what I consider to be the best tire. I would consider the best tire to be coming in out of frame right now. A J-Concepts Tusk fitted with a squid insert. They are immensely capable, fitted to the correct vehicle. I would categorize them as cheat codes. It's like cheating. So we have them fitted to the worst vehicle that we could possibly create, JunkBot, which is made entirely out of junk and is oddly kind of fun to drive, but can't climb a rock worth a poop. So let's see. Will JunkBot make it up Slickrock on what I consider to be the best tires? Because I have said that the tire being the only interface between the vehicle and the surface, the tire is the most important thing you've got. The rear pumpkin is just into that rock. It's a Tusk with a squid insert in it. It's immensely good. This thing has no throttle control. The trigger feel is terrible. And it doesn't matter. Like what you are about to witness. Oh my goodness, the reverse. Let me wrap it around here. It's not, I don't, honestly, it is 100% everything, this thing. You have to move in fits and starts because you have no smoothness, so positioning the vehicle is monumentally difficult. We've got no steering angle in those axles. No, I'm getting that thing where like this is the vehicle that would give you a cramp in your index finger, because I'm trying to give so little trigger input, but it doesn't matter because touching the trigger, that's literally, that's as small as you can move, as slow as you can move. And then, you know, we would be remiss if we didn't show the drag brake. I think it'll roll all the way down. The tires are trying to stick to the hill and stop it, but yeah. Good tire though. Immensely good tire. So because his weight bias and his spring damping is so bad, when he flips over upside down truggy style, his rear wheels either almost touch the ground or can be made to touch the ground, and I almost self-righted him. I did not, but I almost did. Oh, this seems criminal. Argentum, the Zoku RC outfitted Phoenix with all the bits and bobs, the measuring stick, right? We've got variable overdrive, we've got dig, we've got a Fusion Pro, we've got the biggest AGF RC, the A86. It's Traxxas big bores, the springing is right, the damping is right, everything's right. And then there's one massive glaring wrong, which is it has Amazon knockoff Pitbull Rock Beasts stretched onto 2.2 narrow wheels. What I would consider to be the worst you can do. You have witnessed this wheel tire combo sit and spin, where you can just hold the trigger at a fixed point and the vehicle won't move. So here is something we are going to witness together for the first time. What happens when you take the most capable thing you have and put inarguably the worst possible tires on it? He hasn't fallen off. If he manages to breach and make it to the top of this, he'll be the first rig that's ever done it on these tires. Look at that push. All right, let's up the overdrive. Oh, nope. I'm so thankful that this is shaking out the way. Okay, small overdrive. Use that fusion control. There is nothing. There's no traction whatsoever. They're so bad. They're so bad. Oh man, and I will tell you, I mentioned this in many videos before, and I'll say it again right now. When you transition from one controller to the next, different vehicles can and do feel very different. Like the throttle profile, the amount of finger tension you need, right? It's literally going from one trigger to a different trigger. They can feel very, very different. These feel very, very different in the best possible way. Junkbot feels absolutely horrible, even on the best tires you can do. This guy feels amazing. Amazing. It is silky. But boy, do these tires not have grip. Now, this is a rig that, but hey, look, we be drag braking. This is a rig that has what, I mean, when you do this move right here, we're looking at a rig that has the best stuff. We the best stuff. And then you have a rig that has none of the best stuff except for the wheel and tire. So look, I always have forward drive. It's awful. It is it feels bad, man. Driving it does not feel good. It is oddly fun. And honestly, I think I might go so far as to say it's more fun when it's got the garbage wheels on it. The garbage wheels and tires. Oh! Okay. All throttle, baby. Come on. Let's pretend we're that guy out there on the residential street with a speed limit of 35. Let's be that guy. Beans. It's beans. You need to fill fake rock beasts with beans. It's the only way they work. Oh, but that was just trying to struggle bus it up there. Let's see what happens when we go onto an actual surface here. What do we got? We'll hang. Yep. It gives this Phoenix an absolutely apocalyptically bad turning circle. Like, it's really bad. And the Phoenix axle has a great steer angle. And like I say, this is a 1,000-ounce servo, so it's not like the surface is fighting us. It's that just we can't even, man. But again, same on the same hand, not even on the opposite hand, on the same hand. Or this Phoenix, the Zoku Phoenix, is so good that aside from stuff that requires pure traction, we can almost do this. Like he will nearly crawl. Now, I mean, you know, don't challenge him to go through a gate or anything. It would be nightmarish. But what do you know? What a terrible tire. So if you put a fantastic tire on a truly terrible rig, it gets better disproportionately. If you put a truly terrible tire on a truly good rig, it gets much worse than it was, but it's still better than the bad one with the good tires. Interesting. Build good rigs, I guess, is the takeaway. Don't build a junk bot. Life is too short to drive a red cat. I stand by that. I really do. And with that, this is complete. It's going to take me an hour to put all this away. I got to move tires around. Oy vey. I thank you for watching, everybody. I thank you for leaving those comments. Comments equal content. I ain't mad about it. So, I thank you so very much for watching. Oh, wait. Hold on. There we go. Just put him in cruise. Wait, we'll dial it down a little bit. There we go. We don't want him too loud. I thank you so much for watching. I thank you equally as much for commenting below. I will take those comments from you and use them to turn into content to throw right back into your eyeballs. So I invite you to comment below. Drop a like if you enjoy this sort of shenaniganery. Consider subscribing if you would like to see more. This is what we do, baby. And channel memberships, they make the channel grow. They really do. They enable us to do things like continue building rigs and then have enough leftover parts to build that abomination. Do you see, we all see that black line forming in the middle of those tires, right? That's not an optical illusion. So I'm gonna guess that is the contact patch. That's the only part that's actually touching, which could potentially explain why they're so ghastly at forward drive. So maybe an undersized foam or something really thin, really soft. The side hill will be helped a little bit by the 2.2s, so maybe it won't fall over. Part of me says it's walking a little this way, but I don't think it actually is. For frame of reference, oh, there we go. I had set the controller down, and they're all in right behind me is a line of them, and unfortunately there's all of the RC6s that we have are in use right now. So I keep grabbing the wrong radios. So the radio's been sitting down for a while. We're just cruise controlling on the hill. I think we've perfected at least the 5 to 7 minute outro. So I will have to bid you adieu. I gotta load all these boys up on the cart. Keep those comments coming. I do love them from the comments because more often than not, it's something that I never would have thought of. Oh, also here in the very closing, to the person in the comments who said when I couldn't figure out what those brackets were, he said those are leaf spring mounts. When he said it, it was that. Here it is. Listen for the sound. It was one of those. It was the palm to the forehead moment. Just like how Jolly Green came to be a 6x, where I had said for a year that I had wanted a 6x but didn't want to buy a TRX6. And he was like, well, why don't you just take your TRX4 and buy the stuff to put an extra axle on it? And I just sat there and I stared at the screen for like a solid 2 minutes, like I had an existential crisis. So in the spirit of that, Jolly, how much do I love comments? Jolly Green, as he sits right there right now, let me just move him forward. Jolly Green, as he sits right there right now, would not exist were it not for the genius that comes out of the Crawler Canyon comments, and I mean that with no sarcasm, with no irony, with no anything. The genius that comes out of these comments has helped me in immense ways. In many instances, as much as I hope I've helped at least one or two of you. That would be amazing. So, please do tune in for whatever comes next. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be silly. We'll find out together. I look forward to seeing you in that one. In between now and when we meet again, please, one and all, everybody, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We bid you adieu from the canyon. Argentum is probably actually physically angry at me right now, but you know, it's all for the content. We'll see you next time, everybody.